Hi, it's James, and here I am today in the absolutely gorgeous New Forest with the birds chirping and the bumblebees flying past. And I'm joined today actually by the amazing Dame Esther Rantzen, who has very kindly and very excitingly for us agreed to join Alertacall's advisory board. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. But before we do, one of the reasons we want Esther involved in Alertacall in this way is because, Esther, you're an expert really now on what the needs are, hopes and aspirations are of older people. And so I just kind of wondered, given that there's so much going on in the world and we're in quite complex times, what you thought were some of the main challenges for older people at the moment.
Well, what the Silverline callers to the Silverline helpline tell us about very often is loneliness. Because what we're offering is, as you know, conversation, support, 24/7. So if people wake up in the middle of the night or on Sunday afternoon, they feel particularly alone, they get in touch with us. And it's a real problem because these days so many older people choose to live independently, want to live on their own because they tell us they don't ever want to be a burden. But what that does mean that sometimes this loneliness, which is so bad for people's mental and physical health, strikes them. But, excuse me, I don't know if you can hear a distant donkey, but in the New Forest, that's one of the sounds you get.
Yes, if you can't hear, there are donkeys. What's the word for a donkey? Braying in the distance. So.
Absolutely. But as well as loneliness, people are facing financial problems now with the cost of living rising. They're worried about health, so there's the whole challenge of providing adequate social care for people. They're worried about trying to stay as well as long as they possibly can, and as I say, as independent. So you've got a lot of issues facing older people. And I think that the great strength that Alertacall has is a very direct contact with older people, many of whom are on their own, and a way of supporting them when they need it most.
Yes. And and I'm assuming really it's because of our focus on having more contact with older people that's what kind of appeals to you in terms of supporting us on our journey.
Exactly right. I mean, having visited your base and seeing the attitude, which is not patronising, it's not medicalising, it's very personal, very warm. It's just what one would hope that an older person would be able to receive if they're on their own. Just the friendly call, somebody to say happy birthday to them, somebody to pick up if they're feeling worried or concerned about a particular topic. And especially older people on their own, you do want them to have that person-to-person contact, which is so lacking so often.
I think that's right, because we're obviously in a world now where there's a big thrust, isn't there, towards digitisation and communicating digitally with everyone, including older people. But actually we must always remember that it's human contact that brings about really kind of life-changing and lasting impacts on people.
I'll tell you what I think about that. I think the important thing is not just the attitude of your staff and your team, but it's also the listening ear. And I'm hoping that as members of your advisory board learn more and more about what your clients are telling us, we can take those voices on. Because very often older people feel that no one's listening, no one cares anymore. There's this dreadful thing that people sometimes say that they're past their sell-by date, which I think is really tragic because, in other cultures you find older people are really respected, admired and feel validated, but too often in this country they feel inaudible and invisible.
Yeah, and I think that is, one of the reasons why having more contact and not less with everybody, but particularly older people, is such an important thing.
Yeah, so do I. And the other thing is fun, because I often ring up older people, particularly over Christmas, and sometimes ask them what they're doing for fun, and I get very saddened by the number who say they haven't had fun for years, or that fun is just for young people. So I think the other aspect of Alertacall's work, I think, is to try and inject a bit of fun into people's lives.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, Esther, it started raining on us, so probably now's a good time to wrap up our brief conversation and get back to drinking our tea.
Very good.
Thank you very much for that.
Pleasure.
See you folks soon. Thank you, Esther.
Pleasure.